Now, in some photographs, you might have had to shoot with a very high ISO, and that would have resulted in a lot of noise in your photograph. So in this photograph, I have shot at ISO 1600, and it was with a Nikon D80 camera whose ISO performance is not that great. So I have some amount of noise in my photograph. So if I zoom into the actual size, you can see that there is quite a bit of noise that I could remove. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that. And how can I do that? For that, I need to move to the third slider, third panel actually. The third panel is the detail panel, and in the detail panel, I have a whole section which is called noise reduction. And in this, as I move the luminance slider, you will notice that all of this noise begins to go away. Now, if you see that I've only moved it only up till 30, and the noise is pretty much gone. But at the same time, while it's removing the noise, it is also making the image a little bit softer. So earlier with the noise, the image was somewhat sharper, but as I remove it, it has also become a little bit softer. So in order to compensate for the softness that is occurring because of the increased luminance and the increased noise reduction, I would just go ahead and apply a little bit of sharpening to this as well, so that the softness that was created by the previous slider is now compensated. So let me just go ahead and do that, and I'll just increase it only. So it was on 25 by default, and I increased it to 45. So that has just made the image a little bit sharper compared to what it was after doing the noise reduction. So the noise has not gone completely, but at the same time, it's not as bad as it was before. So let me just go ahead and see the before and after, and you can see that. Okay, so let me just zoom in on his eye. That's zoomed in too much. So let me just go ahead and zoom in on his eye at 100%. So if you notice the noise in this area, and after the noise reduction, it has gone down significantly, and also on his eye. So you can do that depending on the amount of noise that was initially there in your photograph. So if this was shot at say ISO 6400, there would have been a lot more noise in the original, and I would have had to take this a little bit higher. So depending on the amount of noise there is in the photograph, you would go to the detail panel, and then you would go ahead and play with this noise reduction. And once you're done with that, in order to compensate for the softness that this noise reduction creates, you will go ahead and increase the sharpness a little bit as well. So in the next step, we are going to see the very last step of the entire process. I'll see you there.